here's how the book works. It's divided into 4 sections: conflict, society, people, and media. And I can't possibly read the whole thing for you tonight, and I will only be able to give you highlights here and there, and you'll be able to come partway toward the conclusions that I've drawn, and here they are to get started. Israel was weak but arrogant in the 70s. Israel is strong but frightened today. The 1973 Yom Kippur War traumatized the people. More recent traumas seem just as serious, but they aren't. Israel today faces no existential threats. I'll say that one again. Israel today faces no existential threats. Anti-Israel groups like BDS make a lot of noise but do little harm. And the final one is that Israelis keep voting about security. We always hear about this general or that general joining the race, and everyone trying to get this general to join the party and stuff. But the real issues today are domestic. So, as I say, I won't be able to prove all of those premises in the short 3.5 hours we have tonight. But I'll try some of them. Let's start with the first chapter in the book, which is in the first section, which is called Conflict. And this is a chapter from 1975. I haven't changed for that. It's a boy. This was the moment we've been waiting for. I've been trying to imagine what it would feel like when the nurse would pop her head out of the door of the delivery room and say, "It's a..." How would I react? It's our first, so no previous experience to guide me. Just the many conflicting thoughts that have crossed my mind ever since we decided to start a family. But what would it feel like? The moment of truth. It was as I feared. Those mixed feelings, those terribly mixed feelings, overwhelmed me. I just stood there mute, maybe with a little smile. The nurse didn't react. I don't suppose that I'm the first one. A friend of mine had a son once. His picture is on my friend's desk. It's a handsome, wholesome face topped with a billed cap over his army uniform. It's always like that. I never knew the boy, but I can just imagine the joy he brought to his father and the horrible gap that is left now that he's gone, a victim of the Yom Kippur War. I wonder how his father felt when he was born. And then there's the happiness, a firstborn son. Soon we'll be playing football in the yard and he'll be watching me fix things around the house. Maybe he'll have a knack for it. Maybe he'll be good with his hands, better than his amateur father. Or maybe he'll be interested in politics and world events. Maybe I'll come home from work to a lively conversation about what's going on in the world. Maybe he'll take an interest in mathematics, and what will I do then? I can't even balance the checkbook. And he'll speak Hebrew without my accent. Won't that be strange? And he'll teach me all the slang. They grow up so fast. And then he'll be 18. He'll put on his army uniform. But it doesn't start then, and it's not just boys. Last month they killed 6 teenagers, the terrorists. These were kids who had just come back from a march in support of Zionism, the ideology that explains why we are here, why we must have our own country. They were too young to remember the Holocaust of World War II, too young to remember Israel's War of Independence. They had lived through 2 wars as youngsters, probably did volunteer work in the last one, and then they were gone, victim of a terrorist bomb in downtown Jerusalem. You have to ask yourself, what business do you have bringing a child into a world of hate like this? We asked it, and we answered it, that maybe our child can do something about that. Maybe he can. We'll give him the best education we can, combining all we know of America and Europe, and now the Middle East, teach him English, maybe French, and we'll give him all the tools he needs. But we can't give him safety. That's out of our hands. You just don't control your own life around here. Your personal fate is so much in the hands of those who hate you. But it has to be worth it. There are so many here who don't have any place else to go. Israel must exist for them. And our son, like us, must do whatever he can to make it a better place. All we can do is hope he gets the chance and pray.